Innovation, a way of life. What is an innovation? When we think about innovation, one question arises in the mind: does the innovation come naturally? Or it may be taught? The answer is that everyone can be creative and innovative. The only requirement is to encourage the innovation among people. In the words of Peter Drucker, innovation is real work and it should be managed like any other corporate function. Peter Drucker further specifies two types of innovation. 1. Incremental and 2. Radical. Incremental innovation is an improvement in an existing process or service, whereas radical innovation is re-engineering the entire process or methodology. One of my college friends was from very small village of Gujarat. Once, I visited his native and witnessed one incident. A small business owner borrowed money from a landlord. The landlord was a very old, unattractive-looking guy. Landlord saw businessman's beautiful daughter and started thinking to marry her. He decided to offer the businessman a deal that would completely wipe out the debt he owed him. However, the catch was that he would only wipe out the debt if he could marry the businessman's daughter. Needless to say, this proposal was met with a look of disgust. The landlord said that he would place 2 pebbles into a bag, one white and one black. The daughter would then have to reach into the bag and pick out a pebble. If it was black, the debt would be wiped, but the landlord would then marry her. If it was white, the debt would also be wiped, but the daughter wouldn't have to marry the landlord. Standing on a pebble-strewn path in the businessman's garden, the landlord bent over and picked up 2 pebbles. While he was picking them up, the daughter noticed that he'd picked up 2 black pebbles and placed them both into the bag. He then asked the daughter to reach into the bag and pick one. The daughter naturally had 3 choices as to what she could have done. A. Refuse to pick a pebble from the bag. B. Take both pebbles out of the bag and expose the landlord for cheating. C. Pick a pebble from the bag fully well knowing it was black and sacrifice herself for her father's freedom. Can anyone tell which option she had chosen? She drew out a pebble from the bag, and before looking at it accidentally dropped it into the midst of other pebbles. She said to the landlord, "Oh, how clumsy of me. Never mind. If you look in the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked." The pebble left in the bag is obviously black, and seeing as the landlord didn't want to be exposed, he had to play along as if the pebble the daughter dropped was white and clear her father's debt. That day, in real sense, realized about out-of-box thinking. Someone has rightly said that a collection of data is not information. Similarly, a collection of information is not innovation. 2. Some people would rather stick to their same schedule and do the same thing, day after day, a predictable and comforting routine. For champions of innovation, this mindset is difficult to understand. However, you're likely to meet many people over the course of your career who are simply uncomfortable with innovation, and you will have to learn to work with them. The first step to compromise is understanding, so let's take a look at some of the reasons people are sometimes uncomfortable with innovation. 1. They're afraid of change. 2. They think the new process or product won't work. 3. They feel threatened. 4. They aren't creative. 5. They're cautious. 6. They avoid failure at all costs. 7. Disadvantages. Very costly and time-consuming. Businesses can run out of money if they invest too much and don't get products to market quickly enough. End up wasting resources by developing something that doesn't sell. Business is not able to produce new product on large scale at low enough cost, no guaranteed return on investment. I want to put my point. A simple non-business example may be that of a shirt. An analysis of its molecular contents, that is cloth, thread and buttons, is data. If we look over these contents individually, we can't even think that it may be a shirt. A list of the tools and material required for the preparation of a shirt is information more useful. An experienced tailor could probably make the shirt. Here the pieces of data are related. The method through which a shirt can be stitched is innovation. Written innovation. Explicit innovation tells how to prepare a shirt. A person, however, with the innovation, experience and skill innovation in their heads that is not easily written down, tacit innovation, will almost certainly stitch an excellent shirt from the available material. It's funny how we find strength, motivation and a learning from someone so unexpected. Negative effects of innovation are often unanticipated, and according to Everett M. Rogers, most of the undesirable consequences emerge when the innovation is widely diffused and never comes to the attention of the innovator. One example of an undesirable innovation is CFC. In the 1980s, it was discovered that the common coolant within refrigerators, CFC, is destroying the ozone layer. Before the discovery, CFC was considered a very successful innovation that increases the effectiveness of refrigerators. Conclusion. It can be concluded that in this competitive world where complexity and uncertainty increases every day, the only way to survive is to manage the innovation with the help of creativity and innovation. Innovation can be managed through capturing and making the full use of a firm's collective expertise,